Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. I'd really love that if you're returning. How are you today? I want to give a shout out to Jason at the Angry Prepper. Congratulations, my friend, on your 100,000 subscribers. Last night was a blast to have all of us on your panel. Please, let's do that again really soon. If you guys haven't seen that video that we did live last night, the link is in the description box below. It was so much fun. There were a lot of us that were able to celebrate with him last night. And Jason, thank you so much. Okay, guys, let's get into this video. There is a lot that we have to discuss today. So as always, make sure you have your coffee because you're going to need it. Maybe some chocolate. You might even have to hydrate yourself with some Gatorade. I don't know. It's one of those. Okay, so you guys know, okay? You know how I talked about the moratorium, okay? And it looks like they extended it again. I know. But there's this landlord, okay, and he's in North Carolina, okay, and he has something to say. And he was on Fox News, okay, and I have the article here, so I'll leave the link in the description box below like I always do so you guys can have your references, right? And this is what happened, and I feel so bad for this guy. I really do, and I know where he's coming from and why, because my dad is a landlord, okay? And I take care of his rental properties. So when he said what he says in this article, I was like, yep, I know what you're talking about. Okay. So a North Carolina landlord says he is out $24,000 in unpaid rent from tenants, while one renter, now listen to this, bought 3 boats over the course of the eviction moratorium, just as the CDC announced a new ban that will last until October 3rd. 3 boats, okay? And, you know, in my other videos, I said, you know, when you got the stimulus checks and blah, 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 you know, you shouldn't have been buying like, you know, 70-inch screen TVs and PlayStation 5s and blah, blah, blah. You know, you should have been paying your rent. Well, this sumbitch went and bought 3 boats. Are you going to live on those boats now? Are you going to be fishing? Is that how you're making a living? Asking for a friend. Because that is ridiculous, man. Okay? It's ridiculous. There is no need. Okay, you should be paying your rent. You should have been paying your rent. You are irresponsible. You are irrational. You, sir, are a jackass. If you are even a sir. Ma'am. Whatever. You should have been paying your landlord your rent. So the landlord's name is Buddy Shoup, S-H-O-U-P. He owns 35 properties across the state and said that he has been forced to maintain the properties and hemorrhage costs while the federal government slowly dribbles out rental assistance, of which only 7% has been doled out to renters in need. Hi, Stormy Bug. The money was used. They went and bought brand new boats, but I mean, you know, in a time of crisis, like we've been through, you're evidently getting money from somewhere, but it's not going to me, he said. That's what this landlord said. Stormy Bug, you're in my rental space now. So this landlord, this poor guy, no kidding. Stormy Bug, you are showing everybody your religion. Go. So those very same tenants allegedly contacted Shoup when their air conditioning failed in the middle of the summer. Oh, so now they're without air. Oh my. We're not going to make it, are we? So Shoup was legally required to make $4,500 in repair on the residence, but said he did not receive any money from the tenants or the government to repair the additional cost. It goes way beyond the loss of rental income. We're still bound by county rules and laws. We have to maintain the property. Which, yeah, because that's the same way down here in Florida. So when my father wasn't receiving any rent from his tenants, guess what? When something broke, because my dad doesn't live here in Tampa anymore, he moved to Orlando, and his tenants would call me and say, hey, guess what? I'm like, all right. So I have to call, handymen or plumbers or electricians or AC guys or whatever. That's money out of pocket that we're no longer receiving for rent. You know what I mean? So Shoup said that he oftentimes sends tenants who cannot pay rent to local programs who are funded by city, county taxpayer dollars in order to acquire some form of assistance. Yet, when it comes to federal rent assistance, the North Carolina landlord said he hasn't seen any indication that the money is reaching struggling renters. In June, the Supreme Court ruled 5-4 to allow the CDC to continue its moratorium until July 31st, and said that any future extensions would be in Congress' hands. Well, remember, they were like, yeah, nope, not doing it, and then all of a sudden, flip, right? But on Tuesday, the administration announced a new targeted eviction ban to replace the one that expired on that one Saturday. What was that, last week, right? The president said he spoke with constitutional scholars. I'll shut up. And even conceded that the bulk of the constitutional scholars said it's not likely to pass constitutional muster. Officials at the CDC drafted a new eviction moratorium aimed at protecting tenants in counties with substantial and high levels of community transmission of the Rona, affecting roughly 90% of the U.S. population. Okay, but I'm still stuck on the fact that these people went and bought 3 boats instead of paying their rent. Stormy, do you have an answer? I don't think so. So it's like, it's one of those. So then here we go again with, and I know this is, you're probably going to be like, seriously, again? Yeah, again. So White House cyber officials say commitment by ransomware gang suggests potatoes warnings are being heard. Are they? Because sometimes I can't even understand what the hell he's saying. So the White House Deputy National Security Advisor Ann Neuberger said Wednesday that the Biden administration thinks recent comments by representative of a ransomware gang linked to the May attack on the Colonial Pipeline would amount to a commitment the group would not target critical infrastructure or other sensitive industries. Neuberger suggested the pledge of ransomware group Black Matter, coupled with recent comments by Russian officials following Potatoes Summit with Putin in June, was evidence the administration's warnings about disruptive ransomware activity against U.S. critical infrastructure are being heard. We can barely understand what he says when he says it. How is anything being heard? I'll shut up. So we think we are seeing a commitment, and we will look to see the actions that follow on that commitment. Oh, Lord. Neuberger's comments referring to cyber criminals who tried to extort millions of dollars in ransom payments from their victims raised eyebrows from experts who track the groups. Certain ransomware groups pinky promised. Okay. Are we in kindergarten? Pinky. I pinky promise not to do it ever again, I swear. I'm sorry. Okay. Oh, Lord, not to attack healthcare providers during the pandemic, but unsurprisingly, they didn't adhere to that. Well, of course not. What the heck? I'm sorry. I can't. I can't. What hacker is going to say, I pinky promise? Yeah, that's just that's no. No. I'm sorry, potato, but no. Okay. No hacker is going to pinky promise. Okay. Shh. Quiet. It's okay. No one takes you seriously. Anyway, so then there's this one, okay, because I'm not even going to continue to read that article. It's going to be in the description box below if you'd like to read it, but I can't, not with a straight face. So then there's this one, all right? So new Chinese spyware being used in widespread cyber espionage attacks. Yeah. So a threat actor presumed to be of Chinese origin has been linked to a series of 10 attacks targeting Mongolia, Russia, Belarus, Canada, and the US from January to July 2021. That involved the deployment of a remote access Trojan rat on infected systems, according to new research. The intrusions have been attributed to an advanced persistent threat named APT31, or FireEye, which is tracked by cybersecurity community under the monikers Zirconium, Microsoft, Judgment Panda, CrowdStrike, and Bronze Vinewood SecureWorks. The group is a China Nexus cyber espionage actor focused on obtaining information that can provide the Chinese government and state-owned enterprises with political, economic, and military advantages. Wow. Positive Technologies, in a write-up published Tuesday, revealed a new malware dropper that was used to facilitate the attacks, including the retrieval of next-stage encrypted payloads from a remote command and control server, which are subsequently decoded to execute the backdoor. The malicious code comes with the capacity to download other malware, potentially putting affected victims at further risk, as well as perform file operations, exfiltrate sensitive data, and even delete itself from compromised machines. Whoa. So the code for processing the self-delete command is particularly intriguing. All of the created files and registry keys are deleted using a BAT file. Positive Technology researchers Denis Kovshinov and Daniel Kolozkov said. Also worthy of particular note is the malware's similarities to that of a Trojan named Dropbox AES RAT that was put to use by the same threat group that last year and relied on Dropbox for its command and control. Dropbox, that's like on every Android device. Whoa. Whoa. With numerous overlaps found in the techniques and mechanisms used to inject the attack code, achieve persistence, and the mechanism employed to delete espionage tool, the revealed similarities with early versions of malicious samples described by researchers such as in 2020 suggest that the group is expanding the geography of its interest to countries where its growing activity can be detected, Russia in particular, the researchers have concluded. Dropbox is literally on every Android device. It's on my tablet. It's on my phone. Holy cow. I would have never... Oopsie. Darn it. Okay, so this one... Whoa, yeah. So... Here we go again with the container ships, all right? But the cruise this time. Oh. So this, the crews are in trouble, all right? Acting United States Attorney Jennifer Arbiter Williams announced today that Ivan Dorosevic, 31, and Nenad Ilic. Nenad is Nenad and Ilic is Ilic. Both of Montenegro were sentenced by United States District Court Judge Harvey Bartle III on charges of conspiracy to possess with intent to distribute Coca-Cola. You know, on a vessel subject to the jurisdiction of the United States. Dorosevic, and that's Durasevic, okay, was sentenced to 6.5 years in prison and 2 years of supervised release. Ilic, and that's Ilic, was sentenced to 7 years in prison, followed by 2 years of supervised release. Dorosevic and Ilic worked on board of the MSC Gayane, and that's Gayane, a commercial shipping vessel, as crew members. Dorosevic was the second officer and Ilic was the engineer cadet. For months in early 2019, Dorosevic and Ilic conspired with others to engage in bulk cocaine smuggling scheme on these shipping containers, boats. Yeah. Oh my God. On multiple occasions during the MSC Gayane's voyage and while at sea, crew members, including the defendants, helped load bulk packages of cocaine onto the vessel from speedboats, then approached the vessel in the middle of the night under the cover of darkness. Crew members used the vessel's crane to hoist cargo nets full of it onto the vessel and then stashed it in the vessel's shipping containers. They bent railings on the ship, pulled back doors on the shipping containers so they could fit the huge quantities of it into the containers. After hiding it among the legitimate cargo, crew members used fake seals to reseal the shipping containers in which they had stashed it in order to disguise their clandestine activities and contraband. Dorosevic and Ilic operated mobile narco phones to coordinate the bulk smuggling with others on land and recruited other crew members while at sea to assist the scheme. Holy cow. On June 17, 2019, federal, state, and local law enforcement agents boarded the MSC Gayane when it arrived at Packer Marine Terminal in Philly and seized about 20 tons of it, worth over $1 billion from its shipping containers in one of the largest seizures in U.S. history. 5 other crew members were involved in this smuggling scheme. They were arrested, pleaded guilty to conspiracy to possess with intent to distribute, and have previously been sentenced based on their participation in the scheme. Now, these crew members include Bosco Markovic, 39, the ship's chief officer Vladimir Penda, 27, of Montenegro, the fourth engineer Stefan Bojevec, 29, of Serbia, the assistant reeferman, this name, Fonofave Tiasaga, 29, of Samoa, an able seaman, and Lauli Pulu, 34, of Samoa, an ordinary seaman. A sixth crew member, Alexander Kavaja, 27, of Montenegro, the electrician, pleaded guilty and is awaiting sentencing. As the sentences for the illegal conduct in the case continue to happen, they serve as a reminder that smuggling operations will be uncovered in one way or another. Oh my God. Can you I don't know. All of these links are in the description box below, guys. All right, I'm out of here. I love you. I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe, stay positive, keep prepping, and as always, fearless. Bye.